Good evening. Good evening, everybody. This is Pahadi David's YouTube live stream from Nepal. How are you? Just give me 3 minutes, please. We're just setting up. Okay. Just enjoy the view of the from Darman View Tower, central Nepal, Himalayan area. How is everybody tonight? Good evening, everybody. This is Pahadi David, YouTube live stream from Darman village, central Nepal, the Himalayan region. How is everybody? How are you? Are you fine? Good. Good, 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 good. We're just setting up now. Just give me 3 minutes. Thank you. Pahadi David. Bahar ki David nahi hai, Pahadi David. Hello? Hi there. Hi there, CJ Singer. How are you? Namaste, dono heart say, kya haal hai? Sab theek thak hai? Hold on, Ima. Shabash. Swagatam. Swagatam, CJ. Shabash. Oh, sab raji khushi haro. Ah, tumur parivar ki kushalbad khosh haro. Theek chu. Magan herina. Wah, wah, wah. Shabash. Berope, ag tapope, chaha piope, got. Wah. This is Pahadi David in Darman village, Nepal. Darman village, Nepal. Wah. Oh, CJ, can you send me another message just to check the live stream? And thanks for coming. I'm Pahadi David, Mountain David, here in the Nepali Himalayas. I call myself Mountain David, Pahadi David, because as an old traveller, I've lived coming and going. I've lived half of my lifetime in the Himalayas here, Nepal and especially India. CJ Singer, today I had the best meal today. The best meal here in the tower. We had 4 types of veggies and dal, like Nepali, you can say Nepali malka ki dal, but very small one. They call in Nepal masur ko dal, like a small malka ki dal, rice, cucumber salad, and 4 types of veg. There was karela, very nice karela, you know, bitter walla, bitter gourd karela, and cauliflower and peas, and some fried pumpkin leaves, fried, very tasty, salty, and one other vegetable also. It was very tasty, very, very tasty. Wow. And I had extra amount today, so I paid not 300 rupees, but 400 rupees. I had extra amount and very, very good value for 400 Nepali rupees. ₹400 is about 240 Indian rupees. I had a very big amount of food today because it was so tasty, you know. I see, CJ Singer. The background here reminds you of the movie Raz. Was that an Indian movie, was it? What was the subject of the movie Raz? A kind of love story in which a wife saves her husband from a Diane. I see. Ah. Is it a good movie? Interesting movie? Yeah, if I get time, I watch it. I don't watch movies, but I'll think about that. Thanks, CJ. Yes, I had a really tasty really tasty meal today, CJ, equal to the best, equal to the best. Oh, and of course some dried chana ki dal also. Uh, in Nepal, in the hotels here, they cook basically the same sort of dal. They got Nepali urad ki dal, mas ki dal, Nepali wala, very popular. But I don't find very tasty on its own. And secondly, they've got, like I said, the small Nepali mulka ki dal. Uh, he's just ordered some yeah, your arahara ki dal. He's just ordered for me also for next time, you know. Yes, CJ, you learned from me that they don't cook roti in Nepal. They do prepare roti, but not everybody. Half the population eats 2, even 3 times a day dal bhat. Um, people do cook roti, but not very often. I think just 35% of the people, you know. Yeah. Whoa. Oh. Today I had a nice long walk, 2 kilometer walk before lunch, which gave me a very, very good appetite. Very good appetite. Yes. And just as I was returning from the walk, the last 3, 4 minutes, it started to rain lightly. Just for 20 minutes, the rain, that's all. I walked just 1 kilometer above Darman village, walking south, walking towards the Nepal Indian border, Bihar border. From here to the north, Kathmandu's about 78 kilometers. On the shortcut, on the shortcut, um, um, 58 kilometers. And to the south is the Nepal Indian border, Bihar state. About 130 kilometers, like that, yeah. That's right, CJ. In India, dal bhat, rice and beans, eat midday or afternoon, and dal sabji roti in the evening. That's right. Different customs here. And khichdi, not many people are preparing khichdi here. Not many people, but the cook here in the Darman View Tower, young Vivek, he likes khichdi and he said he'll cook it for me soon. So far tonight the Wi-Fi is successful. That's good news, yes? That's right, very simple to make khichdi, very simple, yes. I can eat any time khichdi, cold season, hot season, rainy season, yes. My favourite khichdi is, yellow peely moong ki dal, ki khichdi, or mulka ki khichdi, or mixed wala. So we have two viewers at this time. CJ Singer is viewing, and another person also. All right, please, some other viewers come now and send us a text, yes? Yes. Sometimes I've eaten also a very tasty one, Kala Masoor khichdi, and sometimes Arahara khichdi with moong, Arahara khichdi with mulka. Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's getting darker earlier now. Getting darker earlier, about 15, 16, 17 minutes earlier. You're looking here, of course it's cloudy now, but you're looking north towards the Himalayan range. CJ, these days I'm not going to that small restaurant I called before, the Pumpkin Leaf restaurant. He was talking about the Bidgely account, same place, Everest Lodge. No, I stopped eating there, the Pumpkin Leaf restaurant, from before Wi-Fi. He wanted to charge me for the Bidgely account. In the end, the food was not consistent. The food was not consistent. I stopped eating there 12 days before. Yeah, not on my list now, no. And the other place, the fried rice restaurant, I used to live stream from there, but the fried rice restaurant, in the end also the food was not consistent. So oh, since 3 weeks I stopped eating there completely. Still, I talk to the two owners. I say hello to them every day, but I need to eat consistent food. It's not easy to find a consistent cook, CJ, in public. Sometimes in public the cooks, they cook very nice, very tasty. The next time the food has less taste, not so interesting. Oh, excuse me. So in Darman here, the second other restaurant I eat, CJ. Yeah, you're understanding my report, CJ. I know. Yeah, the other restaurant I'm eating at every 2 days is called the Gauri Shankar restaurant, Gauri Shankar Hotel and Lodge restaurant. Very consistent, very consistent. Female is cooking. Her name's Pooja. Older woman. Very consistent food. I eat there every 2 days. Currently, we have plenty of Karela here. Karela, bitter gourd, which I like very, very much. I know you Indians and Nepalis, most of you like Karela, and every second day I go there. She cooks with potato chips, sometimes soft chips, sometimes crisp. Um, 2 or 3 types of dal, um, sometimes some pumpkin leaves, dal, bhat, salad, mooli and gajar. Yeah. And there, just for a normal amount of food, I pay 250 Nepali rupees, which is about 160 Indian rupees. And sometimes you can say once a week, if it's not raining, I walk up to the diamond top there, just below the top, below the communication tower, and Amit cooks me some fried rice, dal, maybe some local eggs if available, like that. Yeah. Hi Vivek, how are you? Namaste, Vivek. Um, Nice to see your name again. Our lovely friend, originally from the Philippines, Pat, from Queensland, Pat Onalpat Nightingale. She has just arrived in the Philippines. After 6 years, she's visiting her family again and friends. Um, some family thing happened there. So she just arrived there about she just arrived there about 2 p.m. Yeah. No, CJ, the Nepali currency, if they use the same currency paper, I don't know. The notes, of course, are different. Um, the Nepali and Indian currencies are linked together since a long time, linked together. The rate is the same when it changes against other currencies. The rate is linked together. One Indian rupee is 1.6 Nepali. 1,000 Indian rupees is 1,600 Nepali rupees. Different banknotes, of course. This is because the very close links between India and Nepal, as you know. Oh, hi Vivek, nice to see your name again. Back to work today, was it? Monday? Yeah, Pat from Australia, she said she'll try to access this live stream from. She lives about 3 or 4 hours drive by bus north of Manila, the capital. Oh, yes, Vivek, of course, you're on leave this full month. That's right, of course. Are you back in Gurgaon? Yes, CJ, I have one international bank account. International bank account here in Kathmandu. Very easy system. I can make money transfer through uh, um, my bank, and the money arrives here in 2 days, in 40 hours, you know. Are you back home in Gurgaon, Vivek? And thanks if there are any new viewers here or viewers coming back, please tap 2 times on the screen and send a like to this channel. Thank you. Good, good. Vivek CJ asked me um, about my food. I had an equally best meal today. Equally best meal here in the tower. He cooked his equal best meal for me. We had 4 types of veggies, and the Nepalis in public basically traditionally eat probably cheaper. Traditionally eat in public restaurants here Nepali mas ki dal, urad ki dal, but not so tasty on its own. Um, and also they eat very commonly Nepali, you can say small mulka ki dal, very small beans, very tasty. And thirdly, sometimes they cook the urad ki dal and the Nepali masoor ko dal, cook them together. Sometimes they may have some small Nepali rajma ki dal, small one, like a brown colour. And Vivek here, the cook, he's going to get me some. They call in Nepal rahar ko dal, rahar. Yes, arahar ko dal. You had a nice rest day, Vivek, eat, sleeping, and then the University of YouTube. It's like coming to the office every night, isn't it, Vivek? That's right. That's how I look at it here, my office, in my room now. Live stream. That's right, Vivek, in India and around the world. In our home, we can manage the hygiene of our cooking and kitchen, but we can't escape pesticide spray, urea, fertilizers, and adulteration. That's right, yes. Well, it's become totally dark now. You can see now it's getting dark here, middle of August. It's getting dark half an hour earlier now. If you can hear some noise down there alongside the road, a nearby hotel, they're watching TV. Vivek says, oh, I see, YouTube University, yes, looking at information. You like history, don't you? And analysing your origin, that's right. You've got very close to those subjects now, yes, yes. The Indian origins are very interesting, aren't they? Of the, I mean, not going back to the out of Africa migration, is that I think 300,000 years before. If we don't look at that out of Africa migration when Africans spread all around the world, but after that, I think was it the Munda, Munda culture, which was basically the foundation of India. Is that right? The Munda culture? Vivek says, there are two Viveks inside you. One Vivek knows the truth, and the other Vivek says the situation will improve here. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Yes. Yes. Optimism and pessimism mixed together, yes? We must we must retain some optimism, Vivek, yes? Otherwise, without optimism, we'll we'll develop deep depression about the current condition of existence on the planet. Yeah. Mm. Well, it's very quiet after 30 minutes on this live stream. Just three and a half people, I think. CJ, Vivek, and David. Mm. Around India also, yeah, the conditions, yes, 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 yes. I was, I saw a report today by one of the great commentators, you know him, Indian, I was looking at the Indian commentary, talking about Pappu, Rahul Gandhi, how his whole presentation is just going downhill now. He's making a lot of fun about the ruling government, bringing monkey toys into the interview, monkey toys and teddy bears, and making a lot of fun about the PM and the government. And his dialogue really is sinking to a new level now, Rahul, you know? Yeah. When will he retire? When will RG retire? When will he retire and get a real job? Or retire to Thailand? Ah. Oh, hi, Luke. Thanks for coming back from Kolkata. Luke, thank you. Um, Thanks for coming back, Luke, and we'll follow up that thing in 3 or 4 weeks. Good, you understand that. Good, good. I've kept all the notes I made last night on that subject of FB, so that's all right. No, I don't own any cafe or anything here, Luke. I'm not a Nepali citizen, so I can't own anything here. Vivek, it's very quiet here tonight after 35 minutes. Things might get busier on live stream. Vivek, David, do you know that people in government work around Rahul have a Lakshman Rekha around them? Oh, I've heard about that. Lakshman Rekha. That's from one of your great classics, isn't it? Like the Mahabharata or Bhagavad Gita or something like that. Um, would you like to explain again what Lakshman Rekha is, Vivek? I have some idea, but please explain again, would you? Well, Luke, today the highlight of my day was I had a great meal here because we're in a small village here, so the main meal is a big part of the day's program. And uh, sometimes vegetables are less here, but I had a great meal here today in the Darman View Tower where I live. Young Bibek, he's only about 24 years of age. He cooked a great meal. I call him Master Chef. And he put all of his soul into the food today. And vegetarian, of course, for me. And here the usual, uh, like a small type of mulka ki dal with garlic and everything. And first vegetable was some pumpkin leaves, only a small amount, but very tasty, with garlic and salt, and pumpkin leaves fried. And secondly, some cauliflower and potato. Thirdly was, of course, Karela. I made a special request for Karela, bitter gourd, and a fourth type of vegetable too. And there was no mooli today, no radish, but we had some cucumber, rice, and very tasty. Yeah, Nepali thali, shakahari. Oh, of course, Vivek, that's right. Lakshman Rekha means can't cross limits, that's right. Rahul's the dictator, isn't he? When's he going to leave and get a real job? Or is that possible at nearly 60 for a person who never had a real job? No, he'll retire. My prediction is he'll retire and go to Thailand. Mm. Um, it was no, it was in a stainless steel thali. Luke, stainless steel. Yeah. Are there some benefits of eating food from a copper or bronze plate? I've heard about copper water jugs because commonly people get copper deficiencies. I know that's popular in South Asia. Well, it's very quiet tonight. Only 3 or 4 people are here. Luke, Vivek, CJ Singer, and David. Luke, in public restaurants, I think they're mostly using stainless steel thali, yeah. But I have seen in homes in Nepal and India, I've seen in homes using bronze or copper, like you say, yes, yeah. Well, it's very quiet tonight, just the 4 of us here together at the moment. Yeah, these days, the opposition really, it's like the best, one of my favorite expressions in Hindi is jindalash, jindalash, na pura jinda, na pura mora, lekin beach ma. that, that really describes Rahul and the whole organization now, doesn't it? It's really half alive and half dead. Probably more dead now, I think. When's he going to retire and get a real job? Or maybe just he'll retire to Thailand. He'll get everything he needs there. Ah, yes, Luke, I saw a highlight of not the FA Cup. No, the FA Cup hasn't started yet. The FA Cup will finish in May. This was, Luke, called the Community Shield. the Community Shield, which is played 1 week before the EPL starts. That's right, the Shield, yeah. 1 week before the EPL starts. Last season's EPL champions against the FA Cup champions. If sometimes the previous season, sometimes it happens that the same club won both trophies. Sometimes it happens in this that the same club has won both trophies, FA Cup and EPL. So the EPL champions will play the FA Cup runners-up. That's right. Yeah, Arsenal killed Manchester City, didn't they? They killed Manchester City. Pepe Guardiola, of course, has left now. And I see the new manager of Man City is Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca. I'm just doing some research. Where was he before? Which team, you know? Yes, Vivek. Often in India, in restaurants, they add too much oil in the veggie. It can happen here also, but quite often the food is prepared fresh, so you can ask the Nepali cooks, please put less oil in the veggie. No, I had an excellent meal today. Oh, also, of course, um, when I eat in the tower here every second day, I ask them to cook some dry desi chana, Vivek, desi chana, dry one, masala. Normally, I don't eat it in India. I don't really like the taste of desi chana. Also, it's very high in uric acid, as you know. But in Nepal, I'm making a compromise because, as you know, I don't eat at night, and I need plenty of protein with my meal. I finish my lunch about 4, so they cook me as a vegetable. They cook red chana, red grams. Yeah, and that fills my stomach up. And I feel, Vivek, if I eat extra radish in the salad, that will help to digest that uric acid more fully, and perhaps it doesn't build up in my body, you know? Oh, yes, Luke. When I first came to South Asia 50 years ago, I was afraid of spicy food, but I learned quickly that spices are immunity boosters. Spices are very tasty. For me, not excessive. I like to taste the food rather than have the taste wiped out by spices. But I learned very quickly, and later I learned fully that during COVID that spices are good immunity boosters, you know? Yeah, my spice level is better than many English and Australian people. Yes, yes. CJ, since many, many decades, I stopped celebrating Christmas. For me, two aspects of Christmas. One was very much a um, a family affair, of course, right? Christmas is very much a family affair. When we are younger, of course, more of the family is with us. And then about 30 years ago, I lost my stepfather. I called him not my stepfather, I called him my father. Left the planet. Then a few years after that, 30 years ago, my lovely mum and elder sister also left the planet. So then, with just one family member left, my other sister, and myself traveling a lot, I lost interest in Christmas, lost interest in it. When I was younger, Luke, I can remember in England, um, I loved Christmas. When you're young, right? When you're young and innocent and you still believe in Father Christmas, that's the best time for Christmas. Waiting till tomorrow morning, Christmas morning, knowing that Santa Claus, Christmas cake, Christmas pudding, just the love and believing in the Jesus Christ story at that time and Santa Claus and all that. Yeah. I see, Luke. For you, when there's good money, it's always Christmas time. Do you mean when you're more likely to be making good money in your work? I see, Vivek. Well, you know how to treat yourself. Vivek says, David, I had a slight heaviness over my jaw and slight breath difficulty. You took sorbitrate sublingual and aspirin. Yes, 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 yeah, that's it. That's the traditional remedy. Now having a headache as a side effect of sorbitrate. Oh, well, I learnt that. You can have a headache as a side effect of sorbitrate. I see. Ah. You're talking about giving some you had some bronchial congestion or something there? I see, Luke. You've done your medical and safety training too, as you were in the airlines in the past before my major accident. Tell us about that major accident, Luke. You never mentioned that before. Yeah, Luke, I probably told you I'm a retired nurse. Um, Previously, in my younger years, I had done psychiatric nursing, then general nursing. And in the last major part of my career, coming and going, traveling uh, in Sydney, um, in the latter part of my nursing career, I worked just in acute psychiatry, acute psychiatric clinics, which was very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Vivek, yeah, some cardiac heaviness. Oh well, you know very well how to treat it, and Ayurvedically, Vivek, what can I tell you? You're an Indian. You know much more about Ayurvedic than the average Westerner. I know something. What about garlic? The marvelous all-rounder garlic. Would that help your cardiac situation, Vivek? I see, Luke. Yeah, when you feel like telling me, I see. When you're free to tell me about it, I would be interested. Yeah, a very long story which made you lose many good jobs, and from 2022 struggling with a small business you set up with your savings. I see. What sort of business is that, Luke? Can you tell me? Oh, that's unfortunate. You can't go abroad anymore because of you're medically unfit. Oh, that's very sad. I'm sure you feel the loss of not traveling anymore. Where had you travelled in the past abroad, Luke, travelling and tours, I see. Ah, your small business now, I see, travel and tours, yeah. Yes, Vivek, of course, I finally retired from nursing, especially acute psychiatric clinic nursing, retired very end of 2003, that was it. I have forgotten quite a bit of knowledge. Of course, olanzapine, in my last job especially, in my last two jobs, olanzapine was becoming very popular. It had been a rather revolutionary drug for psychosis, of course, especially schizophrenia, as I remember. Yeah, risperidol, risperidol. I remember the generic name, of course. Uh, Risperidone, yes, 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 yes. Of course, then Largactil, chlorpromazine was very, very well used still. These days, I don't know. Yeah, chlorpromazine, Largactil brand name. On the side, a tiny dose of chlorpromazine was often used for hiccups, Vivek. But of course, people who know from you or who know to hold your breath, that was amazing a few weeks ago, Vivek. I had hiccups. That was amazing for me. I'll never forget that. And I'll pass that knowledge on. You said to me, David, hold your breath for 1 minute and the hiccups will go away. I did that one time experiment and they went for the rest of the live stream. Oh, Luke, you were at 25, you were 1 year continuously in a wheelchair. Oh, two major accidents, 22 and 25. Oh, 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 oh. No, Vivek, I do remember it's a different drug, a different drug. I can explain briefly. Yeah, for irritable patients, yes. I see, Luke, that's interesting. You've pretty well travelled all over Bharat and UK, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Bali. When were you in Bali? I first visited Bali when it was more of an original place. Um, 50 years ago. Yeah. Oh, Vivek, of course, you're not familiar too much with psychiatry. No, chlorpromazine has been around for many decades. Chlorpromazine, and basically an antipsychotic, basically used in schizophrenia and other psychotic disorders. Chlorpromazine. In Australia, most, well, only branded under Largactil. But I left psychiatric nursing 24 years ago. No, clonazepam is a benzodiazepine, Vivek. Clonazepam is a benzodiazepine, um, related structurally to diazepam. You'd know more familiarly diazepam, yeah, universally called Valium. At least in my psychiatric nursing days, um, Vivek, the benzodiazepine group, brand name wise, or excuse me, the benzodiazepines generically all ended with EPAM, EPAM, diazepam, Valium, clonazepam. I forget the brand name in Australia, clonazepam. Um, and other EPAMs were the generically benzodiazepines, yeah. Yes, I'm sure there are many differences in names, differences between the West and India, Vivek, differences in brand names, but as you know, the generic name will remain universal. Sertraline, I don't know sertraline, Vivek. It seems familiar, the name, but sertraline is, I don't know. Fluoxetine as antipsychotics. There may be an error from your side, Vivek. Maybe fluoxetine sounds like very close to the name of a very old, tried and trusted antidepressant. An antidepressant, in my knowledge. The name's very similar, but you may be right. This is India, it's not the West. Fluoxetine sounds very much like an antidepressant. I can't give any more info on that. You may or may not be right that fluoxetine is an antipsychotic. Sounds awfully like an Australian, in those days, antidepressant. Um, can't give you any more info. Sonpari Collection. Hi Sonpari, namaste. Namaste Sonpari Collection. आप कैसे हो सब ठीक ठाक है Shabash. Thanks for coming back Sonpari. We're having a very quiet live stream tonight, but now with you we have 4 or 5 people texting. Luke, I completed my 2 nursing diplomas in those days. In those days, nursing diplomas, at least until 1973-74, at least until then, 1972, when I finished 2 courses. I did the full 3-year psychiatric nursing course, then had a little break, and then I did a bridging course in general nursing, because then I was already registered in psychiatric nursing, so I didn't need to do the full 3-year general nursing course. I was allowed to do just less than half of it, 16-month general nursing course, a diploma. So I was then a doubly registered nurse. All of that, all of that. This is the difference. Listen, all of those 2 general and psychiatric nursing courses, 100% were done in the hospital, 100%. Then some years after, about 72, Australia had a radical change and changed over to nursing degrees. As usual, traditionally, psychiatric, general, obstetrics, gynecology, mental retardation course, they were the 4 main ones, in which the structure of the course changed rather radically. They became called nursing degrees. I'm fine, thanks, Sonpari. I'm still here in the village of Daman. Don't be confused. Daman in central Nepal. Very comfortable, thank you. Luke Augustine. one of your cousins finished a full 3-year course of nursing in India and is now in Australia as a general nurse. Excellent decision. Excellent decision. Excellent decision. Still, as I understand it, in South Asian countries, the conditions for nurses, even the conditions for registered nurses, are pretty well substandard. Working conditions, working of hours, salaries, um, not enough development in nursing unions to develop the better conditions for nurses. And Australia, of course, is among the very best for salary. Luke, you may like to tell your cousin that each Australian state has at least different salary levels. And you know, on this live stream, she's been coming for a long time. Pat, she's the same age. We're both retired, of course. We worked together for several years in the same hospital in Sydney, 53 years before. We worked together. And she lives in Queensland, and she tells me that Queensland has the very best salary levels for nurses, the very best in all of Australia. Yeah, different states have different salary levels. This is so that Queensland tries to attract new nurses from around Australia, from overseas. Yeah. Oh, your cousin is doing very well in Australia with salary-wise, I'm sure. But I understand now that the old live-in nurses' home, living in nurses' home situation in Australia stopped many, many years ago. The government couldn't support that anymore. Vivek, fair enough. No, okay, I trust your message. Of course I do. But fluoxetine sounds suspiciously like an antidepressant. I can't think of any more information on it. It just sounds very close to it. But this is India, it's not Australia. Luke Augustine says, medical brands have just changed, compositions are the same, yeah. Vivek, I know tryptoline, amitriptyline, branded as Triptanol in Australia. When I started psych nursing at the age of 17, 1967, Ligactyl, chlorpromazine, amitriptyline, Triptanol were two of the main psychiatric drugs, and when used properly could be very, very effective. Um, Now, I'm not thinking of tryptoline in this as you spell it, the fluoxetine. You see, you're spelling fluoxetine. As you may well know, I know very well that in English, the spelling of OU in fluoxetine, the spelling of OU in English has 9 different sounds. Do you want to know what they are? I can remember 6 of them. No. Fluoxetine has no relation to amitriptyline or triptanol, different drug altogether. But in my memory, fluoxetine sounds very much like an antidepressant. Oh, which one is it? Which one? Which one? No, can't remember. Yes, they're often used at night time. That's right, yeah. That's interesting, Vivek. Yeah, it is right about the Australian Luke, we had a radical, until, you should know this, until, oh, until about 1990, the Australian statewide nurses unions were not well structured. And then they had a couple of obviously previously registered nurses got into the union and started to make very, very radical changes to improve the all-round situation, including salaries and for nurses in New South Wales. I can speak for New South Wales, Sydney, Canberra. Before then, the nursing union structure was primitive. Now it's as good as any on the planet. Also, Luke, what did your cousin nurse tell you? In India, you see, since decades in Australia and probably other Western countries, we have, I can't stop that damn dog barking. Maybe it'll choke on its tongue, yeah? We, in Australia and other Western countries, we have what are called penalty rates. Penalty rates, Luke, where, briefly, if we work an afternoon shift, if we start after 2 o'clock, we get 12.5% extra hourly rate. If we work night shift after 11 p.m., we get 15% extra pay. If we work on a Saturday, we get an extra 25% hourly rate. We work on a Sunday, we get an extra 50%. And listen to this. In Australia, when I was there, I'm sure it's the same. If you work a public holiday, you get a time and a half, 150% extra pay. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? For that shift. I see, Vivek. I'm not understanding all of your language now, but are you doing a sort of radical version, are you? And the quality of your work and the method of your system too, is that right? Different systems, I see. You say that's advanced compared with the Australian operation techniques, is that right? Hi, Sunshine. Nice to see your name again. Thank you. Stay with us if you can for some time, Sunshine. Thanks for coming back. And please remember, everybody, if you screen twice, you'll send a like to this small but slowly growing YouTube live stream. Hi, Anita. Namaste. Kihunin sab tik tak chu. Shabash. Wow, wow, wow. I see, Luke. You were supposed to get into nursing, but you got excited about working as a cabin crew international airline member. Shortcuts, big money, sometimes not good either. I see. What was the major accident? Was it an airline accident? I see. Your cousin already works in Queensland. Wow. That's the best state to work in Australia as a nurse, especially a registered nurse. Wow. Pat from Australia, on Pat Nightingale. I know you just arrived back in the Philippines a few hours ago. Any luck with the SIM card? Can you access this this live stream while you're over there for 2 weeks? Pat's visiting her family and friends. Something happened seriously in the family, So she's revisiting the Philippines, where she originates from. The first time in 6 years, she told me. Oh, very nice, Luke. Your female cousin, she's happy in Queensland, been there 5 years now, new house of her own, Indian husband and a kid. Well done, well done, well done. Obviously, full Australian citizen. Well done, well done. Yeah, it's one of the best countries on the planet, Luke, but she would have told you that. Um, a huge, huge difference in Australian culture and South Asian culture, you would have heard, Luke, is that the social services work exactly as they're supposed to work. And most of the funds go into serving society. They don't go into the greedy, corrupt pig stomach. They go into meeting their responsibilities as, I forget the English name, like Nagarpalika, Jila Panchayat, PWD, all of the funds, most of the funds are monitored very closely by the common citizen, and they just do their job. Compared with being in South Asia, oof. Anita, oh, it's Ghee Tihar, very nice, of course. Thank you. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Thanks, Vivek. Yes. Fluoxetine. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Good, good, good. Send to me on WhatsApp, yeah? Vivek, well, that's nice. Indian surgeons don't have any exam to work in Australia, just 6 months observership. Very nice. Very nice. Yes, CJ, I'm not a pure Brahmachari, not pure celibate, but you can call an absolutely confirmed bachelor, a confirmed bachelor of, look at my smile, 76 years. 76 years as a bachelor. If bachelor means in its pure meaning never got married, well, that's me. Ah. And also an expert PCE, CJ. I've been through this subject before. I'm an expert PCE. In my knowledge, I don't have any children. In my knowledge, as far as I have researched, as far as I have been told, I don't have any children. I'm an expert PCE, CJ, PCE. Population control expert. Population control expert. Yes. And well done to you also, Luke. Well done. CJ, I think you're not married. Are we in the same class? That's very nice. Your cousin's very, very successful. Yeah, I suppose, Luke, you say your female cousin, the nurse in Australia, making good money. When people start to make good money, they forget their family. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the personal details of your relationship, but your sister, I don't know, she's probably concentrating 100% on the survival and comfort of her own family there, I suppose. Every person for themselves. Is there any truth in that? Yes, Anita, it is a respected profession. a noble profession. It is. Yeah, I used to work very hard sometimes, very hard, very hard. I see, Luke, you had a private car accident. I see. All right, Luke. Okay, thanks for spending time with us, Luke, and that will benefit this small channel in a big way. It will at this stage. Thanks very much, Luke, and we'll keep in touch. Thank you. Luke is saying his last message. Luke is saying, not everyone is good like me, helping people and family. And now, when you're having a tough time, nobody cares. Yeah, I can believe that. It's everybody for themselves, especially these days. Everybody. Mm. Luke. Thanks, Luke, about my chat speed. What you're saying is I just need to answer people's messages more quickly. Yeah, some people have commented on this. I I I just like to respond to people personally and slowly. I like to talk to people personally and slowly. A fair number of viewers do stay for some time on the live stream, so they've got time to wait. I just don't hurry, and sometimes my replies may be a little bit long. I like to get into the details of dialogue, and so I just can't change my technique, Luke. If I change my technique, I won't be spending so much time individually on each message. You know what I mean? Even if I'm 10 minutes behind, sometimes longer. And I just can't change my technique. Do you know what I mean? That's right, Vivek. You're absolutely right. You are right. I do agree. If you have money, you're a king or queen in India. If you have money, you're a king or a queen in India. But you can't be a king in Australia. You have to work hard. You do. You definitely do. Yes. Hi, Vic Morrison. Nice to see your name again, Vic. Thanks for coming back. Have you been away from the live stream for some time, Vic? Welcome back, Himalayan greeting from Nepal. Namaste and Swagatam. Welcome. Have you been very busy or um, thanks for coming back, Vic. Have you been very busy in work or study like that? Hi, Glorious Stella. Thanks for coming back, Glorious, also known as Lone Survivor. Thanks, Glorious. Nice to see your name on the screen again. Thank you. Colonial Lady. Well, since I refused her offer of marriage 2 nights ago, she's disappeared. La pata ho gay. La pata ho gay. Iski koi atta pata nahi hai. Vic Morrison, a PCE means population control expert. Population control expert, or a person who, in their knowledge, a person who, Vivek, in their own knowledge, never produced children so far in this lifetime. That's why I always use the expression, in my knowledge, Vivek, in my knowledge, I've never produced kids. I never had any reports um, from my past activities, uh, no reports that I was the father, that I was the genetically proved, DNA proved father of a little child. Um, that's all I can say, really. Oh, it is possible, Vivek, it is, yeah. Yeah, Gloria. So 2 nights ago, Colonial Lady made a definite marriage proposal to me. Not the first time, but this was very serious, very direct. Um, she is Sandra from Ireland, not Ireland. There are many islands on the planet, but she comes from Ireland, yeah, Republic of Ireland, near Britain, and said she would welcome if I could come over there. And I inquired, was she financially very well secure? Yes, David, don't worry about that. Have your own home? Yes. Kids are grown up? Yeah, they're independent now. And she even agreed verbally in black and white on the screen to cover my one-way air ticket there from Kathmandu or Delhi. Uh, and then I said, oh, look, I'm thinking about it, Sandra, colonial lady. Um, uh, After 65 years of traveling and being a lone wolf, mixing with people but being a lone wolf, I just don't think I could settle into marriage, accepting a whole new live other human being into my life. Um, I won't do it. I never said yes, but I was considering. Since 2 nights, Sandra hasn't appeared. इसकी अता पता नहीं है लापता हो गई लापता हो गई एकदम I don't know. Vivek, someday, David, you will go to Latin America and find some young female adult looking like you. What would be your reaction? If that adult looks like me with a beard, I won't be having much relationship with him. Just hello, that's all. You're waiting for my reply. Well, you've got half of it, Vivek. Um, when I was a young Muruga, Vivek, when I was a young chicken, but at the age of 23 to 24, you probably remember I did spend 1 year traveling around South America. A very nice trip too. Um, in those days, in 1973, 74, most of Latin America was not rich or developing, and there have been big advances now since I was there. Um, Next lifetime, Vivek, अगला जन्म जाऊंगा अभी नहीं अगला जन्म रहूंगा फिर Latin America में और शायद कुछ काम करूंगा वहाँ कुछ live stream karunga, live stream Brazil में Argentina, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Chile. I lived in those 6 countries before. Can he be your son or daughter of a Latin American? Next lifetime, let's have a little try again. Next lifetime, I'd like to live there again. And I like South America very much, very much. That was 1973 to 74. I had some interesting times there. Yeah, you can see the smile on my face. Traveled down the Amazon. Spent the second half of the trip totally living in the Andes Mountains. I lived 2 weeks right next to the lost city of the Incas. If any of you have never seen any videos of Machu Picchu, the so-called lost city of the Incas up in the Andes, the Peruvian mountains at 7,000 feet, even now it would be a most remarkable place on the planet, especially before 10 o'clock when the tourists arrive down below at the railway station. They arrive from Cuzco. They stay there 4 hours, especially before the hordes, the huge crowds of tourists arrive at 10 in the morning. They leave too. And after they leave, it's very quiet, a most remarkable place. If you haven't seen videos of Machu Picchu, spelling is Machu. I'll tell you a bit about Machu Picchu while we're on the subject. Machu, Machu, Picchu, Pihhu, Machu Picchu. It means in the local dialect Old Mountain. It was never discovered by the cunning European colonialists, the cunning, robbing, raping, looting, and murdering Spanish colonialists from Spain. It was never discovered. It was a hidden place. Then it remained right off the map for hundreds of years, and it was rediscovered. But of course, the local people always knew it was there, but it was rediscovered by an American in about 1911, completely overgrown and not much used by the local people. Machu Picchu. I lived just near there for 2 weeks. 1974. Most remarkable. Please, if you haven't seen it on YouTube, Google, you must please have a look. And as an introduction, fly over it by satellite at first as an introduction before going onto YouTube or Google through Google Earth. A most remarkable place. Have a look at it first from the air by Google Earth, the app Google Earth. Wow, wow. Yes, they had temples there, like you could say the palace of the kings and queens or the emperors of the old culture of the Incas, INCA, the Inca people who ruled through the Andes there for several hundred years. But when the cunning European colonialists, this time from Spain, the cunning, robbing, raping, looting, and murdering Spanish colonialists arrived in South America and the Portuguese in Brazil, then that changed the whole cultures in South America. Some of them are still recovering. Hundreds of years later, they're still recovering. Please have a look at Machu Picchu on YouTube, Google. First visit it by Google Earth. You can fly over it by satellite, and an amazing place. An amazing place. The classical picture of Machu Picchu, known as the lost city of the Incas, high up in the Andes in Peru. It's just 2 or 3 kilometers by road above the local hot springs and railway station where I stayed in those days. The classic picture of Machu Picchu, you will see it straight away. So still picture is Machu Picchu, the main temples, main buildings, with a bigger peak, about 1,500 feet higher, the bigger peak of Huayna Picchu. Huayna Picchu sits above Machu Picchu in the background, and that's the classic picture of Machu Picchu, the lost city of the Incas in the Andes in Peru, South America. An amazing place, still is. Before the main crowds arrive there at 10 in the morning, and after they leave at 2 in the afternoon. CJ Singer, have I ever visited an island? Yeah, I lived for many years in England. Britain's an island. I lived in one of the world's biggest islands, Australia, probably called a continent actually. I visited other islands in my travels, CJ, like Sri Lanka, Java, Indonesia, Sumatra, Indonesia, Bali, Indonesia, and several other smaller islands also I visited in the Pacific Ocean, you know. Yeah, yeah. The whole structure of Machu Picchu in the Andes in Peru was built with irrigation structures all through the main body of the city, draining the water from the top down below. They grew crops, of course. Oh, look, Vivek, the extermination of American natives all through the Americas, north, central, and southern, was an incredibly murderous. I can't use a good enough adjective. Oof. When the cunning, greedy, corrupt, never satisfied European colonialists from the 7 countries, when they unfortunately left Europe about 1550 and spread over much of the planet, this was a terrible, terrible cancer on the rest of the planet. Vivek, we've discussed it many times before. We can talk about the progress that they brought. We can talk about the roads and railways and the churches that they built, all secondary to the main primary reason was loot, 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 loot. You know that very well in your India, Vivek. Loot, loot, and more loot. Those European colonialists were never, never, ever, ever, ever satisfied, Vivek. Never satisfied. The amount of damage that those colonialists started to do was really the original mass damage to lovely Mother Nature. It really started on a mass scale with those exploiting, robbing, murdering colonialists from Europe in about 1550. That's where the major part of that all started. Of course, Vivek, as you know, in the 1800s in Britain and Europe, it was much accentuated, the damage against the planet, because of industrialization. But those early European colonialists started the whole devastating process. Oof, oof, oof. I think I've sent the correct answers. I've sent answers to your text, haven't I, Vivek? Then Vivek says countries like Spain, Germany, Italy, Japan have even lost the right to preach peace for humanity now. Oh yes, it's a hugely complicated. I call it the huge. I'll repeat myself again from about 1550. The huge, cancerous, murderous, robbing, raping, looting, cheating, exploiting, cancerous European colonial history. Loot but don't kill. Well, don't loot and don't kill. Oh, look, the damage they did in Australia was equally criminal, equally murderous. The British. Uh, Only in recent years now are the Australian natives, the dark coloured Australian native Aboriginals, finally starting the process of recovering their identity. Only in recent years are they starting to lift themselves up now, Vivek. Their self-esteem, self-confidence, self-identity. That's right, Vivek. The natives, original natives of any land, have the first right of the land not the invaders. Oof. It's an extremely sad, tragic story. All right, any new viewers, please, if you want to stay for some time, new viewers and current viewers, please help this small channel to grow. Please you spread the message about this live stream, Pahadi David's live stream, through your social media, through your social circle, excuse me. You probably have a bigger social circle than I do. Please spread the message of this live stream 6 nights a week. And my same message, if you are regularly looking at this live stream from me and I'm helping you to improve your English, please look at this channel at my 15 English learning videos, English language learning videos, which I prepared myself. And especially if you speak Hindi, Nepali, or any Indian mountain language, I mean, if you are learning English from me and you on this live stream and you use the Devanagari script, Devanagari Lipi, please look at my 15 English learning videos. You can find easily here. And you'll find I've explained quite a lot of English, difficult English spelling and pronunciation problems using your Devanagari Lipi into English. I have no intention to be making videos on grammar or syntax or verb tenses or anything like that. There is a ton of information on the internet about English grammar help, English grammar, indirect speech, direct speech, active and passive voices in verb tenses, past, present, all of that. There's a ton of information on that. My speciality is to help people in English with spelling and pronunciations. That's my special talent. Vivek says, of course they were genocides, Vivek, by the cunning, murderous, exploiting, robbing, raping and looting European colonialists from about the mid 15th century onwards, mid 16th century onwards. Yeah. The Europeans' hands are coloured with the bloods of natives, definitely. Genocide. Vivek says, and he's talking generally here, David, think about this. No weapon from Asia has ever killed any Europeans, but weapons from Europe have killed innumerable people outside of Europe. Oh, yes. Never satisfied, never satisfied. Oh, yes. All right, well, 100 minutes have passed. We're starting to talk about a very sad subject of the cancerous history of European colonialism. Cancerous. PBS photography. PBS photography. I recognise your ID, PBS. Thanks for coming back after a very long gap. Nice to see your name again on the screen. Thanks for returning after several months, I think. What's your location these days? Can you tell us? And have you been very, very busy in your life, your work or study? And very nice to see you again. I've now left India. I'm outside India now for it will be a period of 1 year, and currently living in central Nepal, PBS, in Daman, Nepal. For 5 months I'll be here. Ah, PBS, can't go down. That's right. Acha. Are you Kumani? Are you Kumani Pahari? Kumani Pahari Indian? Yes, thank you. Shabash, gajab haro yaar. Aur aaj ki khalo aaj. Wow. Can't go down. I know can't go down. Haldwani? Yes, in your opinion, you're Kumani Pahari Indian, are you? Gajab haro. Aur ki harina aaj kal can't go down. Haldwani ki tala tuka. Oh, सब ठीक ठाक हो आज की हेलो आज पीबीएस वाह मैं मगन छू मगन नेपाल में मैं मगन छू मेरा परिवार नन छू नंटिन निंटिन श्रीमती जी के नटिन के ना अच्छा भला हरीना शाबाश वाह 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 you can see my big smile. I love to speak. I understand some of the Kumani language, one of the world's sweetest languages. Yes, Vivek stating the obvious here. White hegemony is very bad. Oh, what more can I say about the cancerous, murderous history of European colonialization? PBS, you probably know before I was living in Korsani on the border of Almora, Bageshwar districts. You probably know Murray there, yes? That's right. Shabash PBS. What are you doing there? You're working, studying? What are you doing there, PBS? Ki karano chawaha. Jawab diope komonima? Ah, PBS. I'm starting to remember now your information. Where is your native village? Bageshwar? Someshwar? Batape? Jawab diope ya? Wow, wow, wow. Bhim ki bhat. Bhim ki bhat. Namaste, Bhim ki bhat. Bhat, are bhat. I see, 25 kilometers from Garul. What, on Dangoli side? Garul? Dangoli, Gwaldam side? Or near Gwaldam. Chattiani. I don't know Chattiani, but I lived in Gwaldam before. When I first came to Uttarakhand, PBS, when I first came to Uttarakhand, springtime, 1978, I lived in Gwaldam for 1 month in the marketplace there, a tiny little room. Bhim ki baat. Namaste Bhimji, aur kya haal hai? Sab theek thak hai? Aap kaise ho? Sab theek thak hai? Shabash. Wow, wow, wow. Vivek saying hello to Bhim. Wow, wow, wow. PDS, how about a little Kumani song? This is one of my favorites. Look at my smile. When I sing this song, my age drops from 76 to 46. Listen to this, PBS. Yeah, I'll put my hand over my ear like an original Pahari. Suno pe suno. Meri Durga chane chane mero kamar patta hai ge. Meri Durga chane chane mero kamar patta hai ge. Suno, vero pe. Perope, Octopope, Chaha Piope, Chaha Piope, Chaha. Gata, Gat Piope, Hai. Meri Durga Chane, Chane, Mero Kamar Patehege. Hitope Meriko Puli, Paharo Me Janu Hita. Hitope Meriko Puli, Paharo Le Janu Hit. Meri Durga Chane, Chane, Mero Kamar Patehege. Durga Chane, Chane, Mero Kamar Patehege. Sunope, Sunope. O Meri Purani, O Meri Purani, Pahari Parani, Paruli Deviju, Burani Manyapa, Ajme Tulo Tul Kumba Karan Josh Laganu, Ekai Diope, Modua Rata, Modua Ratiope, Kurum Kurum Rata. Hitope Merigo Puli, Paharo Le Janu Hita. How was that, PBS? Now, Vivek, since 5 minutes no new messages are coming, is the live stream blocked? Please send a short message so I know the live stream is still clear, okay? The meaning of that Pahari song was, briefly, let's go my young cow herder, female, let's go my young female cow herder, Gopi, let's go up to the mountains together. And then he says, a little bit suggestively, my wife is lost, my back is broken, let's go up to the mountains. You can cook ragi ki roti for me and eat pahari sabji. We'll stay together there, and I've lost my wife, my back is broken. Yeah, Vivek, it's one of my loveliest favourite songs, you know. Oh, that's right. Oh, the live stream's still alive. Thanks, Vivek. Thanks for that. Good, 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 good. Oh, Anita Ju. Oh, Moni Anita Mehra. Pura Uttarakhandi. Oh, Anita. आज की खाला, आज की खाला. Uttarakhand में Pahari Rata. Kurum Kurum. Yeah, PBS. When I lived in Gwaldon for that 1 month, 1978, every day, almost every day, I used to walk half an hour above Gwaldon Bazaar on the northern side, the Himalayan side, to a small hill right in front of the Himalayas called Dunkarak. Dunkirk, just above Gwaldon. I'd sit there if it was the sun. It was the weather was quite good then. It was springtime, not yet summertime, and I'd sit there in front of the Himalayas, my back against the rock. Maybe it was a sunny day, blue sky, and I'd look onto PBS. I'd look onto Trisul Himal, Nanda Gunti Himal, Chokamba Himal, Mrikutuni Himal, and they were all in front of me, very, very close. In front of me were villages which I visited much later, like Melket, Diwal, Melket, Manmati, a big hill called Harap. You probably know those places. Yeah. Then, about midday, I'd take a big bottle of water, drink that after breakfast. Then midday, I'd start to walk back down to Golden Bazaar and have some vegetarian food there. And 1 month there in Gwaldom, and then I travelled directly to Corsani, early summer 1978. That's where my love affair with Corsani started, and still that love affair lasts until the present time. Vivek? Vivek's asking, David, why don't you have your weekly night off on Wednesday or Thursday? It depends. It depends. The last word is sometimes it has happened that my night off became another night where I couldn't live stream. I couldn't live stream recently because of heavy rain or connectivity. So my night off changed. Currently it's Tuesday night. I won't be here tomorrow night. So um, I currently Tuesday nights, Vivek, after 6 nights continuously of live streaming. Vivek, I only ever lived in Gwaldum one time, that time many years ago. I don't know how Gwaldum is now, but it's probably more built up, more homestays, more hotels there, more shops. Corsani is still comparatively unspoiled, Corsani, except Vivek, there are a much, much bigger number of homestays and hotels compared with 50 years ago. Many, many more, but still basically, I would say, unchanged. Corsani would be best for the visitor, Vivek, as I always say, 1st of December to early March, because then you've got much more chance of looking onto a lovely view from there. A lovely, lovely view, a lovely view. Vivek, once you were travelling from Bangalore to Delhi by flight, there was severe turbulence. There is nothing more frightening. Oh, you know you could just drop out of the sky like a dead bird. Oof. You were so frightened in that you promised yourself never to sit in a plane again. And you never sat on a plane again? Archon Gaming. Hi, thanks for coming back, Archon. Um, what's your... Excuse me, Archon, I forget your real name now. What is it again? Please tell me. And Archon, if you've got time, please stay for a few minutes tonight, Archon, if you can, yeah, and have a talk with us. I see, Vivek. You never went to Australia. I thought you went to Australia and had a tour around there, you told me. I see, you never went. Well, you could travel all around Australia, Vivek, by the world's best travel app, Google Earth. Ah. Oh, I understood you told me that you had visited Australia. Oh, I see, after 2016. You visited Australia before 2016, did you? Ah, your family, not me. Never. I see. That's frightening. Let me tell you a true story. Here's a second travel story tonight, a bonus travel story, right? This is a true story about sitting up in a plane and the two engines failed at the same time. That's the main Kathmandu, Bihar, India road. During my 1 year stay in South America when I was a young man, 1973 to 74, after the first few months, After my first few months briefly in Chile, and then Argentina and Brazil, longer stays, I tripped down the Amazon. I'll tell you about that another time. So I did the trip down the Amazon, and then I did a trip down a smaller river called, I think, the Xingu River. Xingu. The Xingu River was a direct big river flowing into the Amazon at Manaus, right, in Brazil, right in the middle of the Amazon jungle. So then I took, as I remember, or did I fly? No, maybe I flew from Manaus. No. I took a second trip. Yeah, Xingu River. A little bit remote area, even now. And from there, I took a plane from the Bolivian border to the big city of Cochabamba, right? From the Brazilian border, right? And that was, in those days, 50 years ago, the Bolivian airline was the Bolivian Air Force. That was the airline, right? Poor country in those days. So we're up in the air, and we're still about halfway on the, and it was not a jet. It was the old, this 50 years ago, the old prop planes, propeller planes, two engines, right? We're sitting up there at about, well, 25,000 feet, and I'm looking down at the Andes Mountains. I remember at that time it was the warmer season, so there was less snow on the Andes Mountains, right? This is a true story. And I'm looking down at the Andes Mountains, of course, some very, very steep, sharp, very dangerous looking mountains, half black and half white because it was summertime. So I'm looking down, thinking, wow, that's nice view from up here. Hey, everything's fine. Suddenly, the two engines failed. The sound of the two prop engines just died. There was no power. And for about, it seemed 4 minutes or so, we were just sitting up there, not moving back, not moving forward, not going up or down. Just the previous movement of the engines was carrying us, but the engines stopped. And everybody, you could feel everybody, including me, we just froze. We just froze like a huge block of human ice. I'm going to describe it very well this time. I've described it before on this live stream, but I'm in the mood to tell you exactly how it was and how I felt. I was sitting towards the back of the plane. Now, there was one woman who was in the middle of the plane, and the plane was only half empty. We're just sitting there, and there was no more the comfortable, secure sound of those propeller engines. There was no sound. I could feel my heart starting to beat very fast. And I'm thinking, and I'm looking down at those very sharp, dangerous looking mountains. We were up at about 22,000 feet. The tops of the mountains were 16, 18, 20,000 feet, right? And there was one woman in the middle of the plane, half empty plane, and she turned around. She turned most of her body around to look at we people in the back. Most people were sitting in the back. For some reason, she kept looking at us. I'll describe her face. And for some reason, maybe she felt more secure or something, less afraid by looking at us, some sort of human communication. And she had, for the full 4 minutes, this same horrified, very, very frightened and horrified look on her face. And it looked just like this, like that. It didn't move, it didn't change. You felt that she wasn't breathing even. Her face was just frozen into a a frightened, very frightened and horrified mask of fear, just like this. You want me to do it again? All right, just like this. That was exactly how it was. She looked from person to person, but the expression on the face was the same. And I looked many times, I look at my face, my fellow travelers, and we're all thinking the same thing. Is this it? And we're all thinking in English and Spanish languages, We're thinking in English and Spanish language equivalents of Ramji ka naam Satya hai. That was the thought. The heart was beating, and I'm thinking, wow. I remember thinking, that was a nice lunch I had back on the border there before getting on the plane. Red beans and rice and vegetables. Oof, maybe my last meal. Anyhow, the woman was the center of everybody's focus. Oh! And then suddenly, oh! Ha! The engines restarted. And what the most beautiful, comforting, secure feeling that you can ever imagine when those engines restarted. You could feel it at the same time, left and right. You could feel it. Boom, 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 boom. And then we continued. 5 minutes later, the captain gave a message and he said in English and Spanish, I could understand the English. He said, oh, I really apologize for that. These things do sometimes happen on a flight, not very often. You have experienced something. We have now fully recovered and will be landing in Cochabamba Airport in approximately 27 minutes. And everybody cheered. You know how it is on a plane when there's some technical problem, or you land successfully, quietly, you land and people clap. Oh, it's great relief. Holy Jesus, that was great relief. That is exactly what happened. I'll never, never, never forget that. And as I got off the plane, I realized for the first time in my life, as a young man of 24, I realized for the very first time in my life what an incredibly thin line there is between life and death. I learnt that at 24, right in front of me. That woman. Oh, that's right, Vivek. I often think, and people do say, the airline pilot is God. Not even close to God. The airline pilot is God. The airline pilot is God. And flying close to heaven also, yeah? Woo. Look, Vivek, Qantas has as good a safety record as any company on the planet. Qantas Australia, yeah. Other ones I don't know. Yes, Vivek, you would have died of heart failure, yes. Oh. There have been video recorded from inside planes, plenty of them, of people falling in a plane, serious technical problem, severe air turbulence, engine failure, whatever, from very great heights, dropping 20, 25, 30,000 feet, and then at the last moment, saved. Oh, that line between life and death is extremely thin, extremely thin. I learned that when I was 24 for the first time. I have had several narrow escapes in my life. One by one, I'll tell you about them soon, okay? I've had several, 5 or 6. Do they say in other languages also? Do they say in other languages also? Tell me that a cat has 9 lives? You know, even if you drop a cat from a height, it will always land on its feet, right? A cat has 9 lives. Do they say that in other languages also? Well, we've been here 2 hours. Very nice. Not so many people have. Oh, now Rajat K. Hi, Rajat. Namaste. Namaste to you, Rajat K. Thanks very much for coming. I think you're from Dania. Dania Loon. No, not Dania. Dania. Yeah, Dania in Kumaon. Are you still living and working there, Rajat? Thanks for coming back after a long time. In recent weeks, Rajat. Yeah, ha ha to you also. In recent weeks, Rajat, because I think because people are less busy, and in recent weeks I've been live streaming almost continuously from a Wi-Fi zone, Rajat, and more people are coming. More previous of my lovely viewers are coming from months before even. Rajat K. Two-faced? Why, what's the subject on that, two-face? Very nice to see you, Rajat. Tell us about yourself. What are you doing these days? Wow, wow, wow. Vivek says, having a little joke, Vivek says, you don't know how to swim. You fell into the Arabian Sea for a height, from a height. Was that a dream or something, Vivek, was it? I'm not drinking coffee here, Rajat, in Nepal. I'm in Nepal now for 5 months. In on the end of June, Rajat, my 1 year Indian visa stay finished. So I'm now staying outside of India for 1 year continuously, so that in early July next year I can go back to India again for 1 year continuous stay, you know? Oh, it's reality, is it, Vivek? Tell us about that story. Rajat, I think you're talking about my coffee. I can't get my favourite budget friendly brew coffee here in Nepal, so I've stopped drinking coffee at the moment. I'm living here in central Nepal, Rajat. Don't be confused about the name. The name of the very fine hill resort at 8,000 feet height is Daman, Daman, in central Nepal, south of Kathmandu. What's that, Rajat? Two-faced? Who is two-faced? Now, well, these 2 hours have passed very quickly tonight. Oh, 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 oh. Tell us about that, Vivek, about that real incident. Yes, Rajat, in Nepal now. I have lived here in Daman, central Nepal. Many times I've revisited here continuously since 2013. It has been my home in Nepal when I'm outside India. Uh, only Daman since about 5 years before. Oh, I see, right. That's right. I was in Khorsani the last 8 months. Continuously, I lived in Khorsani there until June 30. Then the Indian visa stay finished. That's right, yes. Are you still in Dunia there, working there? That's right. I used to take coffee there um, in the before starting my late live streams at 9 o'clock. That's right. I start earlier now, Rajat. I'm sleeping a bit earlier here. Currently, Rajat, I'm doing live streaming 2 or 3 hours between 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah. Yeah, I used to take the black coffee there, the brew coffee with Modua biscuit. Ragi biscuits, that's right. I see, Vivek, you had an actual in Malpay Manipal. Manipal, where's Manipal? Near rocks near the lighthouse. You dropped into the water, legs didn't touch land, the waves threw me onto the rocks. You stay away from water since then. I can understand that. That's right. Yes, I love my modua. In English, millet, millet. When I can, anywhere and everywhere, I've been eating modua, millet, ragi since I was a young boy. From my mother's hand, she used to make millet porridge, or millet porridge, or like ragi ki holua, ragi ki delia. Can you say like that? Yeah. Millet, that's right. It keeps me as a Jawan Muruga, young chicken, definitely. One of the world's top 50 superfoods, without doubt. Yes. I've had a little break recently. I left the small homestay with Munna and Dawa. They live here. I left that, and I'm now rather more comfortable here nearby in the view tower. And tomorrow I'll be resuming eating my millet halwa, you can say, with a glass of milk. Yeah, yeah. Recently, here in this last week, I've been having corn paratha. Corn paratha. We had a little cooking problem on the gas. You can't cook millet and corn together on gas as paratha. It doesn't cook well. So that's the situation. Yes, Rajat. In recent weeks, mainly because I'm now continuously using Wi-Fi in Wi-Fi zone here in Daman, Nepal. People are starting to come back to my live stream, better connectivity. And I'm living here now in the Daman View Tower, just 15 meters above the main road. And we got Wi-Fi router here, a Wi-Fi router, which is big news for me. Yeah, I didn't have that in Korsani. Hi Aditya, I'm fine, thanks. Australian broccoli, I am. That's right. Actually, I haven't eaten broccoli for decades. I don't really like broccoli, but I know you love it very much. And don't stop eating it, Aditya. Don't stop eating it. I'm fine, thanks, Aditya. My big event every day, there are two big events. One is live stream, and the other one is eating as much as I can and a good medium spicy lunch, because as you know, I don't eat a meal at night. So I had an especially beautiful meal today. Plenty of vegetables. Nepali thali, vegetarian. Oh, you love steamed garlic broccoli. I bet that's really tasty. Yeah, I don't like the boiled broccoli, but I could eat steamed. Yeah, with garlic, definitely. What's your address, Aditya? मुझको आपका WhatsApp नंबर दे दो यार. Ay, बाबा हो. Ay, वाह वाह वाह. Mera apna mora sharabi baap. Mera apna mora sharabi baap. Hey? Bengaluru. Oh, that's right. Yes, yes, yes. I like it when Indians are officially, legally changing that imported imitation westernized name and restoring the local Indian name. I love it. Bengaluru, Mangaluru, Kolkata, Prayagraj. I like that very much. There should be more of that to delete, eradicate the previous Mughal Raja names and the imposed British names. Delete them altogether, 100%, all over South Asia, where the cunning British ruled, and restore the local original cultural names. There should be more of it, more of it. Vivek, are you still there or are you having your meal? I'd like to ask a question about Kathmandu, Kashmandup, Kati Mandir. I'd like to get the last word on this, but I don't want to play around with Google or YouTube at the moment. Maybe you can do it. Vivek, would you do that? In regard to our conversation the other day, the original meaning of Kathmandu, is it, as I heard, wooden temple, cast mandap in Middle Nepali Kati Mandir, Kathmandu? Is it meaning wooden temple? The temple originally in Kathmandu was built from the wood timber of one huge tree, or does it mean, as you say, Mandu means market or bathing place? What would it say on your Hindi and Sanskrit references? Oh, that's very nice. I did your sister's birthday is in 3 or 4 hours. You can't meet her, but you sent her gifts. That's beautiful. Please give your lovely sister my namaste and pranam. Namaste pranam from Mountain David. Would you send her my greetings? Please. I'm just coming back in 3.5 minutes. I'm just going to see a man about a dog, okay? Thank you. Good, good. I'll be back very soon. Oh, there's definitely a chance of that tonight. Definitely, definitely. He had a decent enough sleep last night. A great, great lunch. And no live streaming tomorrow night. So after a little while, consider yourself on holiday for 48 I'm back. I'm back. Ah. Ah. Just boiling up some water in the jug. I see, did you? Your sister birthday, so your sister's younger than you. Younger than you. I see. What gifts did you send her? Ah, Roger, no, I never ever have an evening meal. Since many, many years, I never have an evening meal. I have a good breakfast and a big, big lunch, finishing about 4, and just for to rest the stomach and everything. I just and it just makes my life easier in the evening. I never ever have an evening meal since many, many years. The only exception was when I used to be back in Australia working as a registered nurse, and if I was working on night shift, back in Sydney, then I'd always have a big, big meal about 9 o'clock before going on night shift, you know? All right, now look, we may finish this live stream soon because it's getting very quiet now. There are very few texts coming through at the moment. Let's see what happens. If more viewers join us, then we can continue for a while, yeah? And please, as usual, if you want to, each live stream, you can tap twice on the screen there to like this channel. It will help. What gifts did you send your sister Aditya? Vivek, I think you're having your meal, are you? I had a question for you, Vivek from Gurgaon. You had your meal. Vivek, listen. Please, I won't play around with Google or YouTube at the moment. I might lose the stream. Please, would you like to let's answer this question about etymology. Etymology, right? The origins of words. The origins of words. Remember, recently we talked about the origins of Kathmandu, going back into Middle Nepali language, Kati Mandir, or old Sanskritized Nepali language, very old, Kasht, Kasht Mandap, yeah? Now, my story is from a number of Nepalis, is that the original old temple in Kathmandu, the original one was built from the same huge tree, the same wood or timber from one huge tree. So they called wooden temple, Kast Mandap Kati Mandir, or in modern Nepali, Kathmandu. But regarding the Set Mandu, apparently meaning temple, I've heard that from many Nepalis. But, you said that it Certainly the second part of the word from Sanskrit into Nepali means market or bathing place, right? Bathing place or market. But that doesn't seem to agree with the first part of the word, kost, kati, cart, wooden, right? Doesn't seem to agree at all. Could you look on Google, look on a good etymology site of Nepali, Sanskrit, whatever, and clear that up? Are you sure of that, Vivek? A cart, of course, meaning wood. Mandu or mandi means market. A place of selling timbers. Oh, a place of selling timbers. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yes. The story I always heard was that the original temple was built from the wood of one huge tree, giving it the name. I still have a little doubt. I think also that you mentioned that Mandu or Mandi meant bathing place. I know in Indonesian, Malaysian language, Mandi means bath. Yeah, I'm sure of that. There are connections with your old languages in your country with Southeast Asia, as you know. Maybe you could ask also, I mean, maybe you could ask also, as the story goes, was the original temple in Kathmandu built from the timber of one huge tree, was it? You could ask that too, also, perhaps, yeah? I'd like to know. Yeah, you'd like to know too, I think, yeah? It's gone very quiet, this live stream tonight. We may finish in a few minutes, but. That's right, Vivek. Sabji Mandi. Sabji Mandi. I see. Sabji Mandi. I see. A common expression in northern India for vegetable market. Yes, I get that. I get that. I get that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Mandi, market, merchant. Eh? Mandi, market, merchant, merchandise, items for sale. Oh, ah, just boiled up some water in the electric jug. Yeah. Eh? Ah, okra. Yeah, I've never had um, much love for lady's finger. I don't know. Oh, excuse me. But people do like lady's finger here in South Asia, yes. Thanks, Vivek. Yeah, see you again on Wednesday. Thank you, Vivek. Thanks for your great support as usual. All right, look, let's finish this live stream in 5 minutes, okay? Please send your last messages now, and tomorrow night I'll have a night off, okay? I'll have a night off from this streaming, and see you again on Wednesday night, all right? Any last messages, anybody, please? Last messages, please, then we'll finish this live stream, okay? It's 9 o'clock here in Nepal. I know in India you're 15 minutes behind in time, yes? Any last messages before we close the live stream tonight? All right, then let's finish now. No last messages are coming. Thanks very much for joining again. It was a quieter live stream tonight. I'm Pahadi David or Mountain David, originally from England, lived in Australia when I was young, and I call myself Pahadi David or Mountain David because in total, I've lived half of my lifetime in the Himalayan mountains here. All right. Thanks for your nice support, and see you again on Wednesday night. See you again on Wednesday night. Namaste to everybody from the Himalayas in central Nepal. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.